Let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
Stop sucking!
That's the signal!
Go!
Go!
Sense!
It's beautiful!
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
The Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Thursday. It's chilly in Iowa. It happens to be quite muggy and warm where I'm sitting right now in Savannah, Georgia. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing us in. Good morning, YouTubers. Good to have you watching us this morning. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We like it when we grow our subscriber base. Give this video a like. And, of course, start leaving your comments in the comment section. And follow us on our social media channels. Ross Peterson all decked out in that brand new black and gold Rush hoodie. That is a good looking hoodie, man.
It's comfy.
Good.
It's comfy. No, I will tell you this. I learned a lesson. Size up.
See, mine's been good.
I need to size up. Here's the thing. I'm bulking up, Trav. I'm bulking up. I've been hitting the gym. You hit those 11 a.m. workouts, and clothes start fitting a little different.
I think that's the same thing with any type of clothes, though, is to size up because, you throw it in the wash, it shrinks a little bit. I've been lucky. I'm wearing my Let's Make Lemonade T-shirt, and I got a large here, and my wife's like, you have to get larges. I'm like, I'm so used to wearing double X because of my fat days. So to go all the way down to a large is like a really huge step for me. And I'm like, I can't. I got to get a double X. She goes, do not get a double X. So I got a large. This one, and this has been through the wash a couple times. I've been pretty lucky with this. So
that's nice. I get to feel like a big boy. I get to start ordering larges. Look at that.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
47 is going to be a big year for me at 47. Wow. I bought one for my dad. I bought one for Courtney. I bought one for me. This is not the premium one.
Okay.
I think I got my dad the premium one.
Good.
I think. I remember. So how's same courtyard?
Same courtyard, same position as yesterday.
All right.
Brooks Reynolds is still trying to get me to jump in this pool. He's going behind the scenes channels. He texted my wife yesterday and said, "Hey, I really, really want Travis to jump in the pool."
That would be great. It would be so great for the show. If at 7:55 you're like, all right, guys, here it is, and you ripped the shirt off and you went and cannonballed.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not, because I dipped my foot in the pool yesterday, and it's a non-heated pool. And I'm sorry, I don't like cold water. I despise cold water. I know people take cold showers, cold ice baths. That's not me. It's just not me. I'm not jumping in the pool. Just not going to jump in the pool. By the way, if you, because I do want to get this in, if you would like a black and gold Rush hoodie, or if you'd like a Let's Make Lemonade T-shirt, we have a variety of clothing options, hat options, cup options. Are you using your mug today? You can get those at therushradio.com. Just make sure to click on the merch tab. And don't forget, 15% of our profits go to Can Play Iowa, and you can help out Can Play. The last month, we raised enough money to donate soft toss footballs to Can Play. So we'll be getting the more you buy Rush Radio gear, the more we're able to help out Can Play. So that's really, really cool.
Yesterday, when we had Audrey's little birthday party on Monday, my nephew comes up, or Tuesday, my nephew comes up to me. He works at Costco up in Ankeny. And he's like, Uncle Ross, I had the coolest thing happen the other day. I was on samples, and I'm handing samples out to people, and all of a sudden this dude comes up to me, and he's wearing a Rush hat or a Rush shirt. He had on one of our, and he was like, hey, that's my uncle. Guy's like, oh, I love the show.
That is super cool. Even I saw Mick out Jeep Stud, and he was, even though he has like more Rush Radio gear than anybody I know, from flags to wheel covers to shirts, hoodies, anytime you see somebody wearing something with your name on, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. And thanks for listening. We appreciate that. But again, go to therushradio.com, click on the merch tab, and buy yourself a hoodie, buy yourself a T-shirt, and represent the show when and wherever you can. I got an interesting day. Today's going to be a hard day, Ross. Today is going to be a really hard day.
Is today the one?
Today's the day. We're pulling out of Savannah today. We're going to say our goodbyes. It was starting to get emotional yesterday. Really, really emotional yesterday. And I tried to hold back the tears. I think I did a pretty good job. When I got emotional, I just walked ahead of Anjanette and Greta. But Greta was pretty emotional last night, and because it's that finality, right? And her roommates haven't moved in yet, so she'll be occupied today helping her roommates move in, which will be good.
Okay.
That
she won't be there by herself for a period of time.
Yeah,
good.
Well, because last night she's like, hey, would you mind if I spent one more night with you guys? I'm like, no, you can spend the night here, just because there's nobody really else on the floor, and her roommates aren't there. I'm like, you don't need to stay in a room by yourself. And since you are our last child, we'll do anything for you. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
You want to cuddle?
Yeah. You want to? Well, it was funny. Last night they were like, because I've been sleeping on the couch. And they're like, Dad, do you want to sleep in the bed with us? I'm like, no. I go, two's company, three's a crowd when it comes to a bed. I don't care if it's a king bed. I'm like, yeah, I want to sleep, so I'll just do that. But my day is going to get interesting because we're driving home, and we're not going to get all the way today. It's about 18, 19 hours from Savannah to Omaha.
Jesus.
I know. So I hope to get to like Nashville today, go 8 or 9 hours. But I got this dropped on me. I have to make a stop in Atlanta at IKEA.
A stop in Atlanta?
Yeah, and you know me. When I get going, I want to go. I don't want to stop. I go, what do you mean we have to stop in Atlanta? She goes, well, you didn't know this, but, back in July, I purchased a bed from IKEA. I said, okay. And when they delivered it, they only delivered half the bed. So she called IKEA, and she said, and when I say she, I mean Anjanette. So they said, well, when they dropped it off, they said, hey, your other half's going to be here in 5 days. Well, it never showed up 5 days later. So she calls IKEA, and she's like, hey, where's the other half of my bed? I've been waiting for it since the end of July. And they're like, well, that was supposed to be delivered in 2 parts, and we only deliver said bed in 2 parts. That bed ain't coming. So you either have to wait till the middle of September to have us deliver another one, or you have to go pick it up yourself. She goes, well, driving to Kansas City is not really an option. She goes, but we are in Savannah. Do you have an IKEA in Atlanta? And they're like, yeah. Do you have both bed parts in Atlanta? Yes. She goes, we'll stop in Atlanta. So I have to get off the interstate as I'm going to be rolling, because Savannah to Atlanta is like 3 hours. And I'm going to be like, let's keep going. No,
Just got started.
Just got started, and I gotta pull over, stop at IKEA, pick up a bed, eat some Swedish meatballs, and do that. This is part of
like you have to go. You're going to go through. I thought maybe Atlanta was out of the way. In my head, it felt like Atlanta was south. You're going to go right through Atlanta, so that's not. It's not out of the way. But you're also going to go right through Kansas City.
I am. But they don't have the bed in Kansas City.
Oh, they didn't have. Okay.
They didn't have it in Kansas City, so we're going to stop in Atlanta.
I think Lady Sideburns is on to the right line of questioning here from this avenue of thought.
Okay.
The bed is in 2 parts.
Yes.
But you only got the 1 part.
Yes.
But you've been using the bed.
No. It's been sitting in a It's been sitting in a box upstairs.
Okay.
And I always, I don't go upstairs that often in my house because that's like Greta's, that's her apartment up there. So I don't go up there. When we were moving around, I'm like, what's this box? She's like, well, it's a bed I bought. I'm like, well, we're going to set it up. She goes, I'm waiting for the second part. I go, second part? Well, now I know the whole story. Yeah. IKEA. And do you just walk into IKEA to pick up? It's like, well, maybe we should look around while we're here. No, let's get going.
It's like right. And going to an IKEA, by the way, is kind of like going to an ARL. We're just gonna go look. I'll go ahead and buy the kennel. Right, you know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
if we just walk around IKEA, we're spending $400 and loading the car. We're gonna have to unload the truck to get to our bags when we get to the hotel tonight.
Yeah, it's like
I'm already fighting for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like
I need to stop.
I can finally see out my back window because on the way down it was packed. I couldn't see the whole way down, and I'm like, oh, we're just gonna load this thing back up. I've now turned into my father. I'm a truck driver. I got to pick up a load in Atlanta.
Gonna pick up a load in Atlanta. What's my freight on this? But you are doing. You're a very smart man. Very smart man.
No, I'm really not.
No. You are. You are. I think that you're playing chess here and you don't even realize it.
How's that?
Because Anjanette's going through her own little coping mechanisms and things right now too, because she's going through the same thing
Same
you
emotions.
are. Probably 10, compounded.
10 times that, 10x
Right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if part of that is, all right, I need, because she's a homemaker, she is a part of her thought process right now is kind of the nesting thing at the house, I guess. You know, like, hey, I get to focus on my energy and time and attention onto these other parts of the house that I never got to worry about. So you are smart to just get out of that way.
Well,
you're smart to say, all right, yep, we're stopping Atlanta. Sweet. All right.
I look at it this way. God is testing me. God is testing me. This is my first task as an empty nester. This is like, okay, you guys are on your own. How are you going to react to this situation? And I was like, sure, honey, we'll stop in Atlanta.
Love it. Good job. Good job,
because, brother. I know Atlanta so well. Just driving through a really major city.
As you're walking into IKEA, hold her hand.
No, I'm gonna go. You tell me where to pull up to the dock. I'll open the back lid and just get in. Just get in.
You're going into IKEA.
I know I'm going into IKEA. Damn it, Ross! Why do you got?
This is where they get you in IKEA too, because you're walking through and you're like, oh yeah, a little basket for the room. That you're right. That shelf would look good in the bathroom. Let's go ahead and get that.
And that's only $9.99. Oh
yeah.
Look at this. Oh, this is $14.99. Oh, how about this? It's only $22. And before you know it, you've got a full expedition, and you're like, how did we get $500 into this thing?
Next thing you know, you're in that warehouse thing at the end, collecting the actual stuff that you bought. That feels like idiocracy. You walk into that part and you're like, what did I do?
And IKEA has you know how they maze you through? I mean,
yes.
They're very smart in what they do. It's just like, oh, you bring me from, it's like going through It's a Small World at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in office. We're in bedding. We're in kitchen. We're in home.
Costs about as much to do the trip.
It really, really, really does. Oh, man. So, yeah, hopefully we're out of Savannah by like 10:30, because it's 7:13 here now. I'm on Eastern Standard Time, and I don't know how far we're gonna get. It technically, I didn't know this when we drove down. It added 4 hours to the trip. There's actually a faster way home, and Abigail thought we were gonna be coming back through Water Valley, Mississippi to see Sutton again, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going that way. I want to see my grandbaby, but she's going to be back at our house in like 3 weeks. I said,
oh, okay.
I can wait 3 weeks. But I'm going to the fastest point of entry home because we have the Black and Gold Rush coming up on Saturday in the Iowa Lottery Studios, and I want to be in the friendly confines of those surroundings. I would never want to do that show like this. It would be out of my element.
Threw some cash at the Iowa Lottery yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I did. Well, am I saying that right? If I bought Powerball tickets yesterday,
yeah,
technically I didn't pay to the Iowa Lottery, right? Because that's the nationwide.
Well, it's nationwide, but
if the Iowa Lottery runs it here in Iowa, so.
Yeah, we'll have to get Matt back on, but I'm sure they get a portion of those ticket sales just because you bought it at an Iowa Lottery terminal. Yep. You supported whatever it is, and you were trying to win $1.1 billion, and nobody won last night. So it looks like the Powerball is going up to $1.7 billion. I can tell you this, Ross. I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket when I get back at home. If we win the $1.7 billion, and let's say I won it outright, We are going to open up a Rush Radio studio like the University of Nebraska just opened for its broadcast operations.
Can you send out that link to people?
Yeah, I can do that a little bit later on. I mean, we know that Iowa State has Cyclone Television. We know that, Iowa has a pretty hefty video department. Nebraska, folks, it is unbelievable. And this isn't Husker love. It's just pointing out that, back in 1994 when they launched Husker Vision, which they were one of the first stadiums to have the big screens, they've invested heavily into digital media, broadcast media. And Ross has been and I have both been in a number of broadcast studios. This is unlike anything I've ever seen.
It's beyond state of the art.
It makes anything iHeart has look like crap. It makes anything that these big television companies. I mean, ESPN looks like crap on this. I mean, it is unbelievable.
I don't know, Tyler, but this is quick and funny. Does it have a VCR converter for all their glory days? Tyler, home run, dude.
That is a home run.
Your Thursday morning is off to a good start if your brain's working that quick. And good job, dude.
I want to have a beer with Tyler because he seems like the type that would be a nice smart ass
we did meet Tyler. Well, we did meet Tyler at Central City Liquors, I think, right, Tyler? Tyler was one of the dudes that came and hung out with us, and we got to meet him really quickly during one of the breaks. I think that's Tyler H.
Okay.
Maybe my brain just tricked me.
I'm bad with names. I'm great with faces. If I saw his face,
I'm seeing the face that I remember that being there. That's a good line. Do they have a VCR converter for their glory? It is. Travis sent me the first video you sent me yesterday, Trav, was like an Instagram. Yeah, no, but the second one was the long, really good, really cool video. And that's the one that people need to see because it's just a drone shot. You get to nobody's talking to you. You just get to see it. And there's about 6 times where you go, whoa, this is freaking sweet. I mean, Eli did radio television at Central last year, right? And now they've sold DMPS. They sold that radio station now, so they don't even have that.
Oh, they sold the stick? That's too bad.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what he's doing this year is marine biology, which is way cooler. As a broadcaster, marine biology is way cooler.
What was that Wes Anderson film with Bill Murray where they were?
Steve's Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah.
This broadcast facility, when I saw that, I almost sent it to Eli to say, hey, if you want to do radio and television, you can go to Nebraska.
Seriously.
It's incredible.
And this is a part of a bigger story, which I think more and more universities will do. The more digital media becomes prevalent, and we see universities, Iowa State, Iowa's very active on digital media, video, audio, you name it, much like what we're doing right here. But they have a much bigger budget than we do. But it is controlling your narrative. You don't need a TV news station anymore. You don't need a radio station. You don't need a newspaper anymore. You can build your own content machine and produce the narrative that you want. And
what a great way to put it, Graf.
The narrative that you want. And we're focusing on Nebraska here because they have the facility. But Iowa State does it. Iowa does it. Just not to this level yet, and I say yet because what's going to happen when one school does it, Ross? What happens?
You have to. It's an arms race. It's keeping up with the Joneses. This is what. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do it to that level, and you don't have to make that commitment. And just like when Iowa has a nice law school, that doesn't mean Iowa State has to create a nice law school, but it is an arms race.
Yeah.
Now, what does this mean for? I don't know necessarily improve the broadcasting departments at either school, but something happened. Something has to happen.
Well, you sit there and go, we thought the arms race was going to end when it comes to facilities. Well, now they're going, okay, well, if we don't need stuff for the players, like locker rooms and stuff like that, how do we improve the overall product of the athletic department? Oh, we produce our own content. We produce our own narrative. We tell people exactly what we want them to see and hear. Before, you needed a news station to come in and do that.
It's incredible. I hope that you have. I hope that you can send those links out and folks get a chance to watch them. It doesn't take long. I think I spent 2 minutes watching that drone video, and again, in 2 minutes, had 6 different moments of like, whoa. Maybe it helps because, like you said, Travis, we've been in broadcast facilities. I know what the inside of KCCI and WHO TV are like. When we built the building for iHeart, when we were still Clear Channel and we moved out of the TV studio, we were the Taj Mahal of radio. We had the absolute best stuff. Now, that was 2004, 2006, something like that, 20 years ago, and now it's all outdated and busted and worn. But at the time, we were in the Taj Mahal. So when that drone flies through that facility, besides all the stupid red ends for knowledge, it's a sweet video. It's an incredible place.
And so if you follow us on X at Rush Mornings or follow us on our Facebook page, during the break, I'll put that out there. And again, it's not about Nebraska. It is about the facilities. And you go, holy moly. That's just, I mean, they're not doing a radio show sitting at their kitchen table. Just let's put it that way. or in their spare bedroom. I mean, it's
this isn't technically a bedroom. It doesn't have a closet.
Oh,
so this is I even as a realtor, I wouldn't know if I walked into this house and somebody said, "What would you call that room?" I'd say, "Den,
utility
library."
Room. It's not a utility room because a utility room to me is like
doesn't have windows.
And that, or it's like a utility room to me is your washer and where your washer and dryer.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, this is like it's off my bedroom. It's kind of like a little library. Area.
That's fancy.
Dude, I used to have 1,000 books in here.
Now, how many bedrooms do you have in your house? 2 or 3?
3 bedroom.
So you could say 3 bedroom, luxurious house in a gated neighborhood with a library.
Some of those words were right.
3 bedroom. Not luxurious?
Not luxurious. Someday we're going to get it there.
A spacious corner lot.
Dude, again, corner lot. Yeah. They built a new house down the street from me, and they're selling it for $560,000.
That's good for your neighborhood.
Very good. Neighbors and I were outside talking the other day. They're like, Ross, what do you think that house is going to sell for? I said, well, not that. Everybody slow down. Not that. But what it does mean is buckle up.
Housing market's good. That's why when you need a loan for your house, you call Gary Presnall. Gary Presnall is the best in the state when it comes to mortgages. Can find the right loan for you. And, of course, a proud supporter of the Rush radio show and the Black and Gold Rush.
Been firing deals with Gary left and right. Just got another pre-approval from him yesterday for a buyer. He's the man. Gary's fantastic. If you're looking for any stuff like that, nobody better in the state.
Of course, Gary's going to be joining us maybe next week sometime. Talk about a lot of things.
I'll reach out to him. Maybe have him on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I think Monday or Mondays and Tuesdays are really, really good for those interviews. So it'd be nice to catch up with Gary. He's been on with us before. He'll join us again and talk about you and I. Talk about a lot of things.
Big Hawk fan.
And mortgages. Are rates going down, by the way?
Rates have been pretty steady, man. They're I think the last I saw was 6.25, 6.5, something like that. I know the last offer I wrote an offer over the weekend with Gary, and for that young man, it was no higher than 6.7, I think. So right in that 6.5 range.
Nice. I'm still loving my 2.75.
I bet you are. Yeah. Most of us are. Most of us. That's and that becomes a big conversation with folks, Travis. Right now, people that are moving are people that have to move. If you want to move, you got to really want to move to give up that 2% interest rate you've got and buy a new house at 6%. Or you're a cash buyer. I mean, again, lots of folks out there are in different positions.
Well, Anjanette dropped this on me yesterday, Ross, because, when we go to Mississippi or we go to New Orleans, I always say, God, man, I always joke about getting a second home. And not that I can afford a second home. I dream about it. But yesterday was the first day. She goes, if we move anywhere, we're moving here. And I'm like, oh, is it because Greta's here? She goes, no, I love this city. And I'm like, okay.
Well, you've always said that.
It's a beautiful city.
You
really
always
is.
said Savannah was. You've always said that. You love. Yeah. But what about Des Moines?
You know what? My life dream was to live in Des Moines. It's one of those things where I just never got the opportunity to move to Des Moines after college. I wanted to work at KCCI. That was my goal growing up. After working there in college, A couple times jobs came open. They never thought I was good enough to work there, so I never got to move there. I would have moved to Des Moines in a heartbeat between the ages of 24 and probably 40. And then after that, I kind of went, well, I'm going to have to pivot. Not that I had a bad job. I had my job in television. I had a really good position. But Des Moines was always my landing spot if it worked out. Luckily, I landed with you 15 and a half years ago, or I guess it's 15 years ago, and it's been. I have no complaints whatsoever. So I've got to continue to talk Iowa and Iowa State and everything else, and Northern Iowa, because Todd Stepsis, head coach of the Northern Iowa Panthers, is going to be joining us at 7 o'clock. The Panthers are going to Wyoming, Ross. The last time the Panthers played Wyoming was 1993. The starting quarterback for UNI that year was Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner. He got knocked out of that game with an injury. And it was a 45-42 game back in 1993. But this is a good opportunity for the Panthers. And, again, Coach Todd Stepsis is going to be joining us on the Rush Radio Show at 7
Would
o'clock.
Terry Allen have been the coach of that team?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Yeah, Terry Allen would have been the head coach in 93.
Because he was Kurt Warner's coach, right?
Yeah. Yep. God, UNI's had some really good coaches. Daryl Mudra, Earl Bruce,
Todd
Terry
Stepsis.
Allen, Todd Stepsis. Let's not forget about Mark Farley. I mean, Mark Farley was a pretty darn good coach.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, what's the first year of UNI football?
First year of UNI football? Hold on, let me guess. First year of UNI football was 1958?
You had the right numbers. 1895.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Was it the Iowa Teachers College then? Is that what it was called? Because it always hasn't been Northern Iowa.
You're right. I think it would have been something like that. They didn't even have a coach. First 2 years, they didn't even have a coach. Then they had a guy named Fred Wolf, then E.K. Lighton, and then in 1899, their coach is listed simply as Sweetland.
We don't remember his first name, or Sweetland could be a first name, right? Or it could be a last name. That's one of those first last names type things.
In 1901, a gentleman by the name of G.B. Affleck, like Ben Affleck. No, not Affleck. Ben Affleck was their coach. Dude, this is insane history that they've got on the website here. Terry Allen was there from 89 to 96. Earl Bruce was right before him. Mike Dunbar?
Was that after Terry Allen?
That says it's after Terry Allen. I don't recognize that name, though.
I don't remember that either. That had to be a short stint because Farley came in because Farley went with Terry Allen to KU. And then...
Yeah, Farley was there 01 to 24.
Okay.
Terry Allen was there through 96. Huh. Don't remember Mike Dunbar.
Memory lane down UNI football. And we're going to talk the present
The
and
future
future of UNI football with Todd Stepsis at 7 o'clock. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
The heat of summer is here. Have you had your vehicle safety inspected lately? With any service at Willis Chevy, we include a free multi-point inspection along with a video multi-point inspection. Our GM certified technicians will check your fluids, tires, suspension, brakes, and everything else underneath your vehicle. Come see us today for your inspection to make sure your vehicle is ready for that road trip or ready for the kids to go back to school. Schedule online today at willischevy.com.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, it's the Black and Gold Rush following the Cy-Hawk game. Of course, Ross and I are on right after Iowa Hawkeye football games weekly. The Black and Gold Rush this week's scheduled to start right around 2:30. But as soon as the game ends, whether that's 2:15, 2:20, whenever the game ends, we're going to be live on the air. So just get ready for that at therushradio.com, here on the YouTube channel, or, of course, on the TuneIn app or the Rush Radio Android app. And we'll be live from the Iowa Lottery Studios, where the Iowa Lottery is a good partner of not just the Rush Radio Show, but the Black and Gold Rush. And tomorrow at 7:30, we're going to do the weekly Woohoo from the Iowa Lottery, and it's your chance to pick up a nice prize pack from the Iowa Lottery. And also, Ross, we need to go buy some Powerball tickets, because at $1.7 billion, we can do a lot.
Yeah, a lot. A lot.
Like
everything.
Live the rest of our life in luxury.
Yeah, coming to you live from Lisbon, Portugal.
The show is going international.
From atop the Great Pyramid in Giza.
But with the weekly woohoo, when you call in tomorrow, because that's a call-in portion of the show, or not tomorrow, but rather on Friday. I said tomorrow, but it is Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
No, is it? No, is tomorrow Friday?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, today's Thursday. Friday comes after today. Yeah, you blew when you started the show this morning, and you were like, "It's Thursday morning." I literally wrote it down. I'm like, this week has flown by.
It has. So I'll set up the phone line tomorrow. I did bring the gear to do it. I just didn't do it all week just because of my setup.
Don't blame me.
Yeah. We got a prize pack with the weekly woohoo, which includes Scratch, Match, and Win Jurassic World and Iowa Blackout Scratch tickets, plus Mega Millions free play coupons. It's valued at $90. And don't forget, all these games are part of Iowa Lottery's Play It Again promotions, where you can enter your non-winning tickets into the VIP club account for a second chance to win prizes, which includes cash prizes up to $100,000, a trip to Hawaii, and football games and more. That includes Iowa State football games and Iowa football games. So it's all coming up on the weekly woohoo tomorrow from the Iowa Lottery. The Cyhawk Iowa Corn Cyhawk game is on Saturday. That game kicks off at 11 o'clock. Jamie Pollard had an interesting tweet yesterday. He kind of took a shot at Ohio State. And he said, hey, Iowa State is not Ohio State. And Barstool Sports will be doing their live pregame show before the Fox Big Noon kickoff show in Ryman Plaza. And so, you know how there was this big hub-to-do about Barstool in Columbus last week and kind of their beef with Dave Portnoy. They said, hey, you're more than welcome here at Iowa State. You can set up right there close to where Big Noon Saturday is going to be and do your show. I actually, and Portnoy had a tweet yesterday, Ross, where he goes, I can neither confirm or deny, but if you were to hold a gun to my head, I wouldn't deny it, that he had a conference call with Brett Yormark in the Big 12 Conference on how Barstool and the Big 12 Conference can work together on things, which is an interesting approach.
Brilliant by Yormark. Brilliant.
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the Big 12 is a few steps behind in this money game, in this media game, and Yormark seems to be playing all the moves to be able to catch them up turn by turn, little by little, right? This is a great one. Why not? Grab on to a thing like Barstool and say, hey, what can you guys do for us? Because obviously, besides Michigan, you don't have any love for the Big Ten. Well, if we threw some love at you, that's what, because Dave Portnoy, to me, and again, I want to be real clear here. I don't hate Dave Portnoy or love him. I really don't. I think he's a fascinating dude for this sort of stuff, man. He makes the world turn around him. He makes things happen. It's really cool to see. You know what this reminds me of, though? Yesterday, I had this thought, and this just kind of drives a nail home in it, man. And again, I'm going to bring up another person, extremely polarizing. Half our audience is going to hear this name and they're going to grit their teeth because they hate Orange Man bad. Dave Portnoy is a lot like Donald Trump.
Just says what he thinks.
Let me hear me out. Just where the like. You know how you get in their favor? You know how you get into Dave Portnoy's favor? How you get him to like you? Same way you get Donald Trump to like you. Say nice things about him. Say nice that they are egomaniacs. Again, this is not a hate on them. They're fascinating guys that make the world turn. And that's cool. You sit back and go, damn, these dudes know how to make the world happen. They are egomaniacs. And so what you do to get them on your favor, it's just like if you've got somebody that's really, really smart and you need them on your team, tell them how smart they are. Go to them and go, hey, man, I got stuff I can't figure out, but you're really smart. And you can. They're on your team. They're on your team. Smart people go, oh, they recognize my talent. I'm going to be on their team. Dave Portnoy wants to hear, Dave, you're so important. You're so important. What he doesn't want to hear is, we don't need you. Because then he says, oh, watch how I make the world happen around you. Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I don't need your endorsement, Donald Trump. Oh, okay. Well, then watch this. World spins.
I mean, Portnoy has created, I use this term loosely, a cult.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of those guys, you could say that about. What was the old Donald Trump line? I could go out and shoot somebody in Times Square and I still wouldn't lose votes. Dave Portnoy could do anything. Anything. And he's going to have a legion of fans that are like, yeah, just give me my pizza reviews, dude.
But this goes back to how we started the show talking about, the Nebraska broadcast facility. And that is, Portnoy's built up such a huge following that you look at alternative media and you go, you know what? We watch TV stations do pregame shows on the field, and it's so news-like. People want entertainment, and they want to be part of a collective group. It's that mob mentality. You gather around the stage, you hold up your signs, you have all that fun.
I'm a part of something bigger than me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in a gang. I'm in a party. I'm in a church. I'm in a group that wanted me. We're all Dave Portnoy. We're all Donald Trump. We all want to be told how smart and good and how big our member is, and then hey, well, yeah, I love this. You bet. Well, it is quite impressive. You're right. Yeah.
Well, and what a way to show off the Ames campus, right? I mean, it's going to be good for both Iowa and Iowa State. But if you're Jamie Pollard, you're like, okay, you're going to be out in Ryman Plaza. You're going to be showing off what it's like to be at a football game here. It's going to be, for the most part, positive. There may be
talking to a cool young audience that we have a hard time, and not Jamie Pollard and Iowa State. Universities have a hard time connecting right now with 16 to 25 to. Right? That Dave Portnoy's freaking wheelhouse.
Yes.
Very smart on Jamie Pollard to go in and go, yeah, come on. Doors are open. We're not Ohio State. Now, when you first said that, because I didn't know it had anything to do with, I didn't know where you were going with that. When you said Jamie Pollard sent out a tweet that said, we're not Ohio State, I was like, oh, be careful here, man. Be careful, because that just opens the door for Ohio State fans to go, duh. But that's not what the message was. The message was we're not going to take the moral high ground. Doors are open.
The doors are open. We're an inclusive community. You may not like bro sports, but bro sports is more than welcome here.
And there are parts of Barstool I do enjoy. That Big Cat guy, I find him entertaining. Yeah. I like him. You know what I mean? He just seems like he reminds me of Sean. You know what I mean? He's just out there having fun. Just having fun. There's no harmful part about Big Cat, I don't think. Maybe I'm missing something there, but I enjoy him.
Yeah, very much so.
The Caleb, the dude that always wears the sunglasses. I don't even know their names. He's fun. He makes some really fun content and stuff. I did see a Barstool thing yesterday about the Kawhi Leonard deal. Barstool put out a quick reel about the Clippers. Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard. Did you see this story, Trav?
Oh, I've read bits and pieces about it, and that is, I've kind of just seen the headlines. Is that the Clippers circumvented the salary cap in the NBA?
It absolutely deserves to be a huge story. Pablo Torre is the guy that remember he was on Around the Horn. He's the guy that went and dug into this and found out that exactly what you said. The Clippers circumnavigated went around the salary cap rules by paying Kawhi Leonard $28 million under the table. He created the Clippers created a fake tree company, pumped money into that fake tree company. Then the fake tree company hired an LLC to do media appearances. Not even media appearances. It was like an endorsement deal, like an NIL type of contract with another LLC called KL2 LLC. KL2.
Kawhi Leonard 2?
His number 2. KL2 LLC. Well, the tree company went bankrupt, and part of its debtors was this KL2 LLC. So all this stuff became public. That they were paying him $28 million under the table through the and let's be really clear about a couple things here. Number one, this should be a huge story because this is what we bitched about with college sports forever, right? It's got to be above board. Once it's above board, and now everybody goes, oh, we're ruining college sports because it's the Wild West. pro sports have been doing the exact same freaking thing. The exact same thing. This is not the first professional team to do this. This is the first NBA team to do this. They're just the latest to get caught and probably the most public. Probably the biggest one of $28 million underneath the table. But don't think for a second that this stuff doesn't happen a lot. I hope this thing blows up and it becomes a big deal and we start to find out a little bit more about this. My gut tells me in 10 years, we're going to get some sort of the real story about how Luka ended up with the Lakers. It wasn't for the eyebrow. It wasn't for street clothes. Something happened behind the scenes there. And people like me are called, they're like, you conspiracy theorist. Yep. You're right. We're also called right.
Were you surprised when you saw this? Because I wasn't. I was like, oh, you finally got caught. I mean, because I thought, how would you prevent this from happening when you really want to pay somebody more money? Say, hey, salary cap wise, we can only do this. However, we have this idea. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that it doesn't shock me. And with the NIL world today and the clearinghouse you got to go through, to me, it's going to be even more prevalent in college sports, is to find a way to go under the table.
Again, it's the old bag of cash. What we were talking about yesterday. Getting the bag of cash. You had to have the what bag? The
brown paper sack.
The brown paper bag. Right. Been around. I'm with you. It's been around a long time. I honestly, Travis, I kind of forget that this stuff happens at the professional level, because in the professional level, I see it more like the Barry Bonds and the Shohei Ohtani contracts. This deferred money game that they play. The shell game of, well, we only paid Bobby Bonilla $1 million a year. Oh, really? You only pay him $1 million a year? Yeah, for the next 73 centuries. Shohei Ohtani's making like $1 billion, but not now.
And it won't count against the salary cap.
Yeah,
we've deferred this so we can build a roster around him.
It's not even real money. It reminds me of the old Jeff Foxworthy bit. Hey, you owe us money. We will take a check. You'll take a check? Hell, I thought you needed money.
Speaking of comedy, you just brought up Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck. Nate Bargatze is coming to Des Moines. Nate Bargatze is going to be at the Casey Center Friday, April 26th in 2026. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at HighVTix.com. So if you are a Nate Bargatze fan and he's doing the arena tour, he's going to be at Casey Center April 26th. Again, you can get your tickets tomorrow at HighVTix.com and go see Nate Bargatze. Are you a Bargatze fan?
I love Nate Bargatze. Might be my favorite working comedian right now. I think he's fantastic. Works clean. Funny dude. Did you see him? He was in town last year, or in 2024. He was here in May, late April, May of 2024 as well. Same time frame. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you remember it was like 2 months ago. He was at the Omaha Funny Bone because he was getting ready for this stadium tour. And what people, I wish musicians did this. When you get ready to go on a big that you'd go play small venues just to work the kinks out. Well,
musicians do it in a basement.
Yeah, they do it in a basement. We're like, we're going to play the arena first. These comics go to these small clubs and they bring a notebook up on stage and they say, hey, here's the deal. I'm practicing new material and I'm going to try it out on you. And what sticks stays, and what doesn't stick gets thrown out.
Bill Blank is one of my buddies that stuck with it and did it. I had several friends that tried stand-up comedy and did it and were really, really good. Really, 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 really funny guys. And man, that was so much fun, Travis, to go to. We used to go out to Billy Joe's every Wednesday night. And there was this guy named Rob Rivera. He did a Rob Rivera comedy hour. Anybody could get up on stage. You could, if you just wanted to go out there and do an open mic thing, you could just get up on stage and do it. It was I could name probably about 15, 20 guys that were regulars that would go up there and do that. And I saw exactly what you're talking about. This one guy, Jeremy Danley, I mean, one time, I remember one time he had done, he's like, he gets up there and he's like, all right, I'm just working on new material tonight. So here's the deal. Every joke that I do, I want you guys to remember if you think it's funny or not. And then at the end of my bit, we're going to go back through it and you tell me which one sucked. And he called it funny or shit bucket. All right. And so then at the end of his set, he's like, all right, thanks a lot, guys. That was fun. All right. The first joke I did, the one about prison, was that funny or does that go in the shit bucket? And everybody in the crowd would like vote. It was like American Idol. You're like, yeah, we liked that one. And he'd drop it in the bucket. All right, that's going to be part of my act. All right, the second one I did was about my mother-in-law. And people would be like, boo, shit bucket. He'd be like, all right, shit bucket. Not one. I'll never tell that one again. It's like, dude, I just saw so much like avant-garde, amazing, fun, cool things. Bill Blank, a part of several of them with that Jeremy Danley. They would do I mean, I don't know. It was performance art sometimes. It was freaking awesome.
Well, you mentioned Bargatze is a clean comic, and what we mean by you're not going to hear an F word. You're not probably going to hear an S word. I mean, he's just super clean. I don't care if a comic is clean. I don't care if a comic is dirty. What I care is if a comic's funny. And because funny's funny to me. It doesn't always have to be clean. Bargatze has a way to make his stuff clean and funny at the same time because it's a lot about real life. Is there a type of comedy you don't like?
No, Travis, I mean, I don't think so because I even like Anthony Jeselnik, who's super dark. Anthony Jeselnik is a guy, he always wears black. He has a slower tone.
And he's not clean, by the way.
No. One of my favorite jokes of his is, my grandma died at my 11th birthday party. It was horribly tragic. It affected me for years. We still celebrated my birthday after that. I was just really careful what I wished for. So I like that.
Yeah.
And then I like Nate Bargatze. So to me, I think if you have a sense of humor, if you go, oh, this is just supposed to be funny. The guy didn't really wish that his grandma died. That's a funny play on birthday wishes. His grandma's probably still alive. Okay, I can laugh at that because it's not about a dead grandma.
I guess what I meant, I would not go to an improv show. Like I do not like improv whatsoever. The funniest
you said comedy.
Yeah, that's exactly. Improv is not funny to me at all. I mean, and the best improv bit I've ever seen was in Ted 2 when they go sit back of the, hey, give me a scene. Charlie Hebdo, the offices of Charlie Hebdo. Come on, guys, you're killing me. Because there's no such, they're not really improving. They have their bits down and they tell you what.
The only improv I ever saw, Cole says it, whose line is it anyway, would have moments. Wayne Brady, those guys that were on that show, it takes a real talent to do improv the right way. And I'm with you, Travis. I don't ever remember seeing a local improv group and being like, yeah, they're nailing it.
We started talking about Kawhi Leonard and circumventing the salary cap rules in the NBA. The NBA, Ross, is reportedly going to change its All-Star game again. The Players Competition Committee presented a proposal yesterday to the owners and to Adam Silver about the NBA All-Star game, a round-robin tournament featuring 2 USA teams and 1 world team. They'll play 12-minute quarters, which would be a game, and then here's what I want to tell Major League Baseball. Here's what I want to tell the NBA. Here's what I want to tell NHL. People don't care about the format of the All-Star game. They want to see competitiveness. They want to see you play hard. They want to see you play for real. That's what people want to see. All-Star games became boring and uninteresting when you stopped playing defense, when you stopped caring about being out there and being an All-Star. Now, I'm a product of the 70s, so when I watched the All-Star game and it was in Major League Baseball and there's the NAL, AL, that was a heated competition. Once upon a time in Hollywood, the NBA teams took it serious. When Bird and Magic were at their heyday, the East and the West didn't like each other, and they went out and competed. You don't need to have fancy formats. You just need to give the fans something entertaining to watch that's competitive. Am I wrong there?
Travis, what I thought you were going to say is my message to all those sports would be we don't need these games.
We don't.
There's a part of me that thinks we don't even want them. Go the way of the Pro Bowl. Just go away. It's okay. It's okay to just say, hey, guys, we're going to take a couple days off. We're going to take a week and not play so everybody can get healthy and get rested up. And during this time, maybe we can highlight our minor league all-stars or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what you do during that time. I'd be okay with some sort of break. It does seem like these all-star competitions have absolutely worn their welcome out. The NBA, dude, as soon as you're like, well, they're going to start changing the WNBA format for the All-Star game. Well, they need to change something. But what you laid out there, come on.
12-minute games, round-robin tournament.
So LeBron's going to play. So the best player in the world, whoever you decide that is going to play 2 quarters?
Basically, because it's a round-robin tournament, then probably whoever's, you have a tiebreaker and play at 4th quarter, which would be
think about so they're all going to be wearing different colored uniforms because they're all going to have to play against each other in one moment. So they're all going to be wearing different colors. Think of how confusing that's going to be when you turn on that. You're going to forget that this is happening. Turn on the NBA All-Star game. You're going to walk through the living room. It's going to be a yellow team and a white team. You're going to be like, oh, hey, the NBA All-Star game's on. You go out back, flip a couple burgers, come back through, and it's a purple team and a black team. And you're like, what? Oh, yeah, there's 4 teams. We're doing this fun little...
3 teams.
Whatever. 3 teams. 3 teams. Okay, whatever.
2 USA teams.
You just laid it out. I have so little interest. I didn't even know the details.
Oh, we got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. Todd Stepsis, the head coach of the Northern Iowa Panthers, scheduled to join us at 7 o'clock. Bruno going to be in at 7:30. Quick reminder that we want you to pump it up with unleaded 88. It's cheaper, cleaner, and a greener fuel choice. Make it a clear winner at the pump. So pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
At Midwest Landscapes and Hardscapes, we know that the only way to do business is the fair way. That means honest quotes, no surprises, and work that speaks for itself. From the first sketch to the final sweep, we keep you in the loop because communication builds trust, and trust builds beautiful spaces. Midwest Landscapes and Hardscapes, fair, skilled, thorough. Just the way it should be.
Cars basically do 3 things. They go, they stop, and they turn. If any of those aren't working right, bring your Infiniti into Willis Infiniti and you'll get $50 off per axle brakes to help it stop, and you'll get $25 off an alignment to help it turn. Then you can go with peace of mind. Give us a call or visit us online at willisinfinity.com to schedule your appointment today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbox to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels. There's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Thursday, everybody. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing us in.
More left, okay.
If you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Give this video a like, start leaving your comments. And, of course, you can follow us on X at Rush Mornings, like our Facebook page, The Rush with Travis and Ross, and our Instagram page, The Rush Radio Show. I'm Travis
Make
Justice.
more if you want to.
He's Ross Peterson, just having a conversation with himself. I like that.
Yeah, well, not with myself, but yeah, I'm out of coffee, dude. I'm going through so much coffee in the mornings. It's alarming.
Do you think Todd
It's the core
Stepsis is,
power.
do you think Todd Stepsis is a coffee guy, a Celsius guy? Let's ask him.
Because there's energy drink guys, there's
Yeah.
coffee guys. I don't know, man. He looks like a guy that has avoided stimulants and inebriants and all that
Yeah, I
stuff
mean,
most
he's
of his life.
ripped.
Look at his clean living.
That jaw. Are you a coffee guy or an energy drink guy?
I just think whatever's there. You know, I mean, there's some good coffee there. We'll roll with that. But
Okay.
you know, I like those Alanis, those purple Alanis. Those are awesome. You know,
I don't know what
if you've
Alani
tried
is.
those before, but it's like a grape. I don't know, grape soda. It's really good.
I've never heard of it before.
But,
Now
but healthy, right? You're not a soda guy.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know what, anything you read now, it's like, oh, it's got this in it, it's got that in it, and so I don't know how healthy it is, but like, yeah, it's I think it's for a healthier lifestyle. Whether it's good for you or not long term, I don't think anybody knows. But I mean, we know growing up, man, there's a lot of stuff that we did, drinking out of garden hoses and swinging on rusty swing sets. I mean, and we're fine. So I'm sure it's everything's gonna work out.
Everything's gonna work out.
It will. We're gonna live longer because we all ate dog poop in the yard when we were growing up.
Wait
It's
a
like,
minute.
oh,
Wait.
what's this?
Whoa. Hold on. I drank from the garden hose. I didn't do the other thing.
Oh, maybe that's why I turned out the way I am. That could be it. That could be it. Before I know you're going out of town, but we just need an update. Is the construction in the dome done? Is it done?
It is done. So on Tuesdays we have a big organizational meeting. So we've got the coaching staff, trainers, equipment staff, strength staff, everybody that has a hand with our team and helping them be their best. Usually there was like jackhammers and like concrete saws going during it, and so you really had to focus and pay attention, where it was weird, like there was no background noise. And I think they're still putting graphics and whatnot up, so every now and then, like I'll look like, oh, that wasn't there yesterday. So I think it's more cosmetic, but I think the heavy lifting is finally done. Looks great. So for those who haven't seen it in person, like there was all these renderings of it and how it was going to look, but boy, when you see it in person, it's really great.
Is that in any way a metaphor for the team as well? Like, the heavy lifting's done. We got to get some of the cosmetic things. We got week 1 out of the way and felt good about it. And now we just got to kind of make sure that everything's in position. Is it?
That's a great comparison. I mean, absolutely, because you do put in so much time and effort, from January. I mean, in the dark, when nobody's around, when you don't feel like doing it. And so that's always the tough times. And then you finally get to the game and you're finally here and it goes by so fast. And yeah, it's just, there's nothing major that you can fix at this point. I mean, if a team is bad, it's probably not going to be a great year. But, I mean, I do think you can make small incremental improvements week to week. You can clean up those controllables. What you see on Saturday is what's emphasized during the week. And so you can continue to emphasize the things that can help you win. And, fortunately for us last week, we really have 3 major metrics, I guess 4 if you count special teams and hidden yardage. But everybody talks about turnover margin. We were +3, which was great. Could have been +4. We compare explosive plays. So for us, it's, runs of 12 yards or more, passes for 16 yards or more. We had 13 and gave up 3. So that's a huge discrepancy there. And then, we always look at the fourth quarter, and sometimes games are out of hand by then. But, if you're outscoring an opponent in the fourth quarter, if you win 2 of those 3, gosh, we've been tracking this now for 12 years. We're over 90% winning those games.
Wow. So you look at those metrics. I'm going to just go from a personal standpoint. And what are you most proud of? And is that you shut Butler out in the second half, or that you only had 2 penalties the whole game? Because I think that shows you where you're mentally in it as well. You're well disciplined.
Yeah, I think there was my dad had this saying, and I don't know where he heard it from, but it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. And so, coming off of there, you look at the scoreboard and you're like, yeah, we did some really good things, and, shutting out in our second half adjustments. I was really proud of our coaching staff, as far as coming in and being like, all right, we didn't play great on defense. We needed to get off the field. We're too complicated right now. Our guys aren't playing fast. Let's really simplify. Let's, go back to those day one installs. These are the defenses that we run and have run over and over and over again. Let's get rid of the fluff. And then, offensively to be able to get the running game going. So those second half adjustments, just in general, I was really proud of our coaching staff and our players executing those things. But then, usually, you coming out of those first games, it's like 8 penalties, 9 penalties, 10 penalties. It's like, sheesh, that was a really sloppy game, or lots of drop passes. That's another thing that, we didn't have. There's another metric on offense that we use is the 12% rule. And so take the total number of the plays that you play, and then you add up all of those kind of self-inflicted deals. So it's those penalties, it's plays behind the line of scrimmage, it's drop passes. Like, you take all of those kinds of things, and then if you're less than 12% of your plays were those, then you have a pretty efficient day on offense. So we were at we were right at 11% of our plays were those kind of self-inflicted, don't beat yourself types of things. And so overall, it was a clean game. Now, I will say this, full transparency, looking back at the tape, there were a few times we had a guy that should have been on the line of scrimmage and he wasn't, and they didn't call it. And, there were 2 guys moving it, so I think just like us, the officials are kind of getting their legs underneath.
It's good that you,
so they
you have the grace.
So we make sure we corrected those on Sunday.
Coach, when you say plays behind the line of scrimmage, are those just negative plays that lose yards?
We didn't get sacked, but there were a couple times where we weren't great at the point of attack, and we were -1, -2, and on offense it's just hard to get back on track. Those teams that can stay on schedule, which is really what Butler did a nice job of in the first half, is we couldn't get them behind the line of scrimmage. So it was always 2nd and 6, 3rd and 3, and those are a lot more manageable as far as now I can call a bunch of things. I don't have to be trying to get 7, 8, 9, 10 yards a pop. Those are hard plays to get, especially when a defense knows what you're doing. And so we try to eliminate those minuses by off on QB room. So I work with the quarterbacks. We have the rule of 0, which is like, hey, a gain of 0 is not all that bad. That means we still have the ball. That means we didn't get minused, and we can try to get half of that back on the next play.
You work with the quarterback. Matthew Shuckleman had a really, really good game for you. You've got depth at quarterback, which is nice when you take over a program. Just talk about his performance because he had, 4 touchdown passes against Butler.
Yeah, so when he walks in the room, you're like, wow, that's what a quarterback should look like. He's 6'3". We have these pregame, tops that all the guys wear, and so we're wearing those, as we're heading to our pregame meal, and all the guys actually had sleeves on underneath this sleeveless hoodie, and he didn't. And so like here his guns are out, and I just, I remember watching him walk, and I'm like, man, that's one of the guys you need to have coming off the bus, when you're heading to away games. But yeah, he has a very even keel Joe Montana kind of demeanor to him, where, man, you're looking at him and sometimes you wonder like, hey, do I need to like slap you in the face? You're just kind of there, but he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Again, as a former defensive guy, the toughest quarterbacks really, in my opinion, have 2 qualities. Number one, they're athletic enough to extend plays. And it was neat seeing him do that. So he got a first down on a 3rd and long, scrambling and getting out of bounds. And then he had an explosive run himself where he stepped up in the pocket, took off, got all the way down to the 1. So that elusiveness is really tough as a defense. But the thing that he has that not a whole lot of quarterbacks have is elite arm talent. Like the ball is not in the air very long. And so, again, if you're playing zone defense, I don't care if you see him throw it and you get a good break on it. If it's there in a hurry, there's nothing really you can do. And he had a couple of those throws where, I mean, the coverage was pretty tight, and there was just nothing that DB could do to get a hand on it. And, one play in particular, he steps up, throws it from the far hash all the way across the field, and it looked like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I'm surprised that a receiver even caught it. It was coming in so hot. So he made great decisions. He spread it around, which I love. I mean, on our play sheet, we always have, probably 4 or 5 guys that we have designated plays where these guys are going to get the ball. We need to get them touches. So, we got those guys, involved early, but then it was neat to see a bunch of guys, have success.
I've got. You dropped a couple things on us there, Coach, that I think are really fascinating. Number one is that difference between offensive and defensive mentality, because as you're describing your quarterback there and his calm demeanor, and he doesn't overreact to things, and then you said, I'm a defensive guy. My first instinct was most defensive guys are kind of middle finger, giant jaw. They're going to be a little bit more reactive than you would want your quarterback to be in those things. I'd never really pinpointed that, and I thought you were going to also say one of the things you hate as a defensive player in a quarterback is you can't rattle a guy. If he's not reacting to things, that can be a lot more difficult for you as a defense. That I had never, I guess, thought of that difference in mentalities between offense and defense in that way.
Oh yeah, and I think you kind of hit on it too. Like one of my favorite quarterbacks, and it's not just because I'm an Ohio guy, and it's not just because my wife is from Cincinnati, and I, a lot of my family's from Cincinnati. I love watching Joe Burrow play because I mean, when you watch him, just operate. I mean, he takes shots in that game, and you never see him flinch or blink. He still stands tall in the pocket. He still climbs. He still delivers, strikes and gets knocked down, and you never see him like get upset or point the finger, or he just is. He's himself, whether things are going well or whether they're not, and that is just defensively frustrating. But then just big picture offensively, it's. Your team now isn't riding this emotional roller coaster, which can happen, especially in tight games. When things go bad, man, it's like a snowball if your team is real reactionary like that. So having a guy that can, hey man, we can still navigate the choppy waters. We can get to the other side. That's the type of guy you want.
So based on your age group, and I'm pivoting here, did you grow up an Ohio State fan?
No. So I'm trying to think, we didn't really root for colleges much, growing up. And I don't know if that's just an Ohio thing.
What? You had
I think
NFL
you were
team.
basically, you're basically like an Ohio State fan or you're not. I mean, and in that state, it was either like, hey, you're a Buckeye through and through, or like you're nauseated every time you see the Scarlet. It was like one of the two. But I grew up closer to Cleveland.
I'm sorry.
And so we watched the Browns, and my mom was from Cincinnati, so we went to a ton of Bengals games growing up, and so we followed more pro growing up. But then as I got into college, you start to root for people and not necessarily teams, So as you get to know guys, like I'll always root for Iowa State because Matt Campbell, and I, kind of go way back. I like him a ton. I've gotten to know, Kirk Ferentz. And so like this week, I don't know if I could necessarily root for one or the other. Because I just think they're both good guys that do it the right way. And so I actually was, right when I first started coaching, is when Jim Tressel was the head coach at Ohio State. And I was a huge Ohio State fan when he was there. And it all stemmed from, I was working a camp, and after the camp was over, the Buckeye, the Ohio State would put on like a social for all the coaches that were working. And it was at Rooster's restaurant. Back of the restaurant had like a private room, and it was all the wings, you could eat, the beer you could drink, the pizza and all that stuff. And I'm walking through the parking lot, and I hear this, hey, can I give you a ride? And it was Tressel. And he has this tiny little pickup truck, not a dually. It was just 2 doors, roll the windows. And then he proceeded to hang out with us back there, probably for a good hour. And I'm just kind of like, this guy's legit. And so I rooted for the Buckeyes then. They won their national title. I think it's 02 or something like that. And, so I rooted for him. And then, Urban took over, and it was a drastic difference.
Yeah.
And I became, like nauseated by the Buckeyes.
I like that, Todd. Coach, I like that a lot. Yeah. I like that a lot. That's a great story. Tressel, Travis, did he get booted for like recruiting violations?
Yeah, that was
like that?
The prior situation. It was the tattoos and selling of the gear. Stuff that's legal now.
Stuff that we encourage the guys to do now.
I know it. And I kind of followed his career too, because he was Youngstown. When he was at Youngstown, man, they were lighting it up. And a lot of people, when I say growing up in Ohio, I had heard of Northern Iowa. I knew about the program, and it was because of that, because it was always Youngstown State and Northern Iowa battling out in the Gateway. But yeah, it was, I remember the critics too, when Ohio State hired him from Youngstown, I'm like, I don't know, this guy, it feels like he knows what he's doing. And again, just like, Coach Campbell and Coach Ferentz, like they do it the right way, and boom, they're the wins. That's the byproduct.
So you are going on the road this week. You're going to Wyoming. No better place than Laramie, and I'm being facetious there.
Yeah, I've heard.
Do you fly into Laramie?
Yeah, we do. So we're actually heading out a day early. So after practice this afternoon, we're gonna jump on a plane, head out there. I've talked to over a dozen coaches that have played out there. Whether it's as an opponent or we're on staff. And what is the altitude really a thing? Because 7,200 or whatever is what you're playing at, and all of them said no.
Okay,
but they did say they
are they friends of yours? Make sure they're really good friends of yours.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But they did say, if you can get out there a day early, do that. Just anything to calm your team's mind, because they post it everywhere. I mean, the altitude. I mean, it's probably like the pink locker room at Iowa. It's just,
get it in your head.
It's in the stadium. It's in the graphics. It's everywhere. You are at 72 whatever feet above sea level. And so anything to kind of take that out of the forefront of our players' mind, we're going to do. So we're going to go out tonight. We're going to practice out there tomorrow, having oxygen on the sidelines, all that stuff. But, yeah, I've never been to Wyoming. Excited. That's a state I've never stepped foot in.
It's a beautiful state.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah.
When I hear Wyoming, I think of, so the old the show. Gosh, it's slipping my mind right now with Kevin Costner.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. In the it's the train station. Don't they go into Wyoming?
They go into Wyoming, which is it's funny. So the train station is an unpopulated county on the other side of the Montana border that has no jury of your peers, so you could kill somebody and not have a removal of trial. It was a pretty good Taylor Sheridan line, but the train station was in Wyoming. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think of. I think of Yellowstone. I think of like when you need to eliminate your problems, you go to Wyoming and throw them off the cliff there.
Oh, man. The last time you and I in Wyoming played, Kurt Warner was the quarterback. You got to go back to 1993. So, I mean, there's no real recent history to go with here. But they struggled last week against Akron. Akron, not a very good football team. They won 10-0. I think you can give them a game. I think that this is a winnable game when an FCS, FBS team do battle.
Yeah. We always go into a game with confidence and expecting to win, and but also knowing like, okay, they've got some guys that are a little different, and in that Akron game, they've got a receiver that averaged 20 yards a catch, had 7 catches, took screen the whole way, so you can see his speed. So, okay, that's a matchup that we have to pay a little bit closer attention to. They have a defensive tackle that's very Aaron Donald-esque, where he's right at about 6 foot, right at about 290, but he moves like a running back, and it's hard to move him too when you double him up. So like there's a few things where the matchups are kind of like, okay, what's the plan here? How can we handle these guys, so they don't beat us? But then at the end of the day, like you said, when you watch their first game, it's kind of the typical first game, very sloppy. There was just some operational things. Being on the road at Akron, I've been there. That's not just not an exciting place to play. They built this massive stadium and probably only have, 5,000-6,000 people show up at their games. So it's not a great environment. So I'm sure that didn't help, because on the flip side, we're going to have a pretty good environment, up in Wyoming, and our guys are looking forward to it. I ask them all the time, hey, what's your favorite football memory? And a lot of them are playing FBS opponents, big crowds, hostile environments. And we're going to go up there with some confidence and give it everything we got.
All right. What's the one thing we always hear this cliche of you get best between weeks 1 and weeks 2? We talked about how the heavy lifting is done. So what was the thing that you really had to focus on in-house this week?
I think it's just getting back to basics, So, defensively, this is something that you guys know the sport pretty well. Each single call, you probably have over a dozen different adjustments that all 11 guys need to be on the same page to know how to do. And so, whatever that call is, that team, breaks the huddle, and all of a sudden they're in an empty formation. Okay, what's the adjustment? All of a sudden they motion out of empty. Well, what's that adjustment? Or maybe this is an unbalanced formation. Maybe the run strength changes or the passing strength changes. And like, there's just so many different moving parts where all 11 guys have to be on the same page. So for us, hey, let's dial it back. Let's really focus on what we do well. And let's roll with that. Let's not have too much. And I think in a hostile environment where it's going to be loud, where it's going to be crazy, those external factors, we need to be able to operate how we need to operate with all that stuff going on. And so I think just that was really the focus this week is, how can we focus on our best players? What do they do well? How can we put them in position to be successful and play as hard as we can for 60 minutes. And, so we know that this is going to be a much more talented opponent than we played. So how can we then also catch up to the speed and the pace of that opponent, sooner rather than later? I think anytime you play a bigger team, like an FBS, and then when we were at Drake, when we would play like North Dakota State and all those teams, it was always about the first couple drives. Like, it's kind of like Rocky IV, when
there's
Rocky,
the movie reference.
Drago,
we got another movie reference.
I love it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like right when Rocky and Drago, man, that first round, Drago is just pounding Rocky, and Rocky just continues just to kind of hang in there, and then finally lands the punch that kind of startles a Russian. And so that's kind of how those games have to go. You gotta dig in, you gotta, withstand some of the emotion and the, the excitement and the crowd and all that. And then, and then how can you dig in and then give it your best shot back and hang in and get to the second half. And
when you win on
tight.
When you win on Saturday, Coach, see if they can give you the mic and you could do that Rocky speech at the end of Rocky IV.
Yeah.
Unite two universities.
Yeah.
Hell, unite two states together, Coach. Let's do this.
There you go. If I can change, you can change. We all can change. Yeah. I don't have a good rock. I can't do the Rocky.
That's all right. That's all right. You did it. You're right there, man. You got it.
You dropped a lot of math on us today with analytics. If you weren't a coach, would you have been a math teacher, or do you have like a data analyst who gives you this stuff in a nice dashboard format that it's easy to understand?
Yeah, I mean, we have a guy on staff that gives us, some numbers. I always enjoyed math. I was a special ed, major, so I kind of learned all the subjects. But math would have been a fun one for me. Engineering would have been a cool major, but we didn't have that where I was going to school. And then both my parents were teachers. That it was inevitable. Like I tried pre-med. My older brother's a doctor. I tried it. Yeah, my younger brother, myself.
Wait a minute.
Teaching was going.
You're not the black sheep of the family, are you?
Oh no. My younger brother and I.
All right, yeah.
We're my older brother's kind of the black sheep, to be honest. Like he's the one.
The doctor?
Different. I mean, yeah. He's just so different. Like I mean, we're all like teachers, coaches, and then here he is. The brainiac of the family.
Yeah.
And we're all
got the God. He's got the God complex.
No. I tell you what, if he is probably the coolest doctor ever, because he's not like, his bedside manner is great and it's not professional by any means. Like he just kind of is who he is, and he's a former college football player, so like he's got a great personality, and tells you how it is, and isn't too PC about anything.
Tyler's got a great point. You can remind them your office is by far the coolest one of all the brothers. I don't even have to see where where the doctor's office is. You've got the cooler office.
Yeah, we got a pretty sweet spot out here.
Excellent stuff, Coach. As always, good luck this weekend. Travel safe today, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Real quick, growing up in Cleveland, did you hate Randy Newman?
No, I mean,
Okay, all right, all right.
We kind of were to ourselves. Yeah, I think that's the funny thing about when your dad is in a coaching. I mean, you're always kind of in season. You never really go anywhere, and so you're just kind of there. I mean, so
all right. Thanks,
All right,
Coach. Go get him this weekend.
Right, thanks. We'll see you next Thursday. Coach Todd Stepsis of the UNI Panthers joining us. What a great story about Jim Tressel, right?
Dude.
Driving just a normal
All of
pickup.
that was great. I tried to write as much of that down because I want to keep an eye on that this weekend. I love that idea of we've got a little bit of a formula where if we can win in these areas, we win 90% of our games. Now, the easy one is turnovers. We always say that. Like, I can't turn the ball over, especially if you're an underdog playing against a really good team on the road. You got to protect the ball. Explosive plays. It's another one that seems, if you can just make big plays, but there's a very specific number. 12 yards on a run, 14 yards on a pass. If we can have more than those guys, than the other guy, more of those than the other guy, we can win. And then the fourth quarter, we got to win that fourth quarter. That's the, like in wrestling, they always talk about short time, man. If you can score at the end of a period, it's like double the points somehow. That's really cool. I love that. Try and then limit the 12% of your total plays have to fall into that cat, or less than 12% have to be plays where you lose yards, plays where you have a penalty, or a dropped pass. I think it's really cool stuff.
Isn't it funny how they break it all down? I mean, some stuff is obvious to the fan. Other stuff you're like, I never thought of that. And I never thought
turnovers
of that.
is easy. Big plays take some thing. Take some, and then the 12% rule is a really fun one.
All right,
he also sounded like Terrell Owens at one point there. He's like, yeah, we were at the cafeteria. I saw my quarterback walking across. Sounds like he's like, that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
And he got a Yellowstone reference in today. He got a Rocky IV reference in today. It's going to be see how many movie references he can get in over the season.
Got Randy Newman in there. I thought for sure he'd be like, we hated Randy. Because remember Randy Newman had the song Burn On, Big River, and it was about the Cleveland River. It was about the which river caught on fire. Oh, come on, Ross.
I know which one you're talking about. I don't know the name of it, but yeah, it was like, oh.
The river in Cleveland was so polluted, the river caught on fire. And so he did a song about it. He did a song about it. Burn on Big River.
Bruno's going to join us next when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, I'm Josh Romick, Service Manager at Willis Lexus, and I want to take a moment to share our smoking hot deals we got going on for the month of August. Right now we got a 20% discount on brake pads and rotors, and also a 50% discount on alignments with the purchase of 4 new tires. That's a $90 value. And don't forget to ask about our Lexus Tire Price Match Guarantee. Give us a call to schedule or visit us online at willislexus.com. Thank you for watching and stay cool.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you, taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hey, it's Marion over at Land Rover of Des Moines. With all those summer miles and any last-minute road trips you have before school starts, come on down and get an alignment for $179.95 and $25 off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along. Last half hour of the show. It is Thursday. That means we bring in the one and only Bruno. What's going on there, buddy?
Cuyahoga.
The Cuyahoga River. All right. I got to unmute. Where's Ross at?
He's right there.
There you go. You're there. You don't hear me?
What is going on here?
I got you. Check your settings again.
No, my phone, something's wrong where we've lost all of our audio. Yeah, give me my, yeah.
Huh. Well, we're still live on YouTube. How you doing there, Bruno? Ross, I'll let you see if you can troubleshoot it, and then we'll go from there.
Doing well.
You're doing well? Just well?
Well, I was staying up late writing the story of the Empire.
Ooh.
So I'm a little tired.
So, like, when you say, I mean, is it bullet points? Are you actually writing something? What are you doing here?
It's a threefold thing. I'm writing for a press release, writing for the website, kind of when you click on the story of, and then writing for The historical happy hour this coming Wednesday, next Wednesday, September 10th, we're going to, as part of the Royal Mile historical happy hour, we'll be talking about 4th Street, things that happen on 4th Street, and then we will more than likely walk everyone across the street to check out the new bar, the Empire. The new but old bar, the Empire.
New but old bar. So has this been, did you know a lot of these stuff going into it, or has this kind of been a research project of your own?
I work with a guy named Ryan Ellsworth. He's an amazing guy. He helped put together this 34-page PowerPoint on the Royal Mile. He's just way into, he's an architect, but he's also into the history. He loves old buildings. He loves the stories. He loves to dig in and see. He's one of those people that can just research something and find all the little bits and pieces you didn't know about. So it's fun to hear what he finds out, and you almost get a feel of what it was like way back when. The Empire. Go ahead.
Well, is this like a genealogy of buildings? I mean, if people are into the family trees and the genealogy and stuff like that, is it kind of like a genealogy of buildings?
It really is. It's like, hey, what happened to Uncle so-and-so, or what? Remember the story that everyone tells about great grandma so-and-so? Oh, that isn't actually true. You start to realize that once you see it in black and white, all the newspapers are. I wonder what the world's going to do. I guess we have the internet as long as that information stays out there. But to be able to source, you look up a person's name and you can source everything that appeared, and then you kind of make sure you're getting the right time. 1905 is what we're talking about, and you get all these articles. People wanted to advertise for their business. They wanted to, there's certain things that happen, legal things, law things. Somebody passes away, something opens, it's all in there, and you kind of just can piece it together what happens over time. It's kind of cool. So,
You're excited about this one. I mean, I haven't seen you this excited maybe since Lucky Horse opened. I mean, is this obviously it's a business, but is this? And you swore you would never do one again, and here you are doing one again. But what motivates you when you put something like this together when it has such a historical significance to it?
First off, it used to not be this, but is it going to make us money, or is it money related? I mean, we joke, but I am not doing any new places that I wasn't I don't want to say forced to, but it made good business sense to do. We have a 3-year, we're out till 2028 on this lease. Hopefully it'll work out and we'll go longer. But we either could pay the money each month and not have anything, or pay it in a lump sum, or do something. And so, that combined with the fun finding out of the Empire in the walkway on the way in, looking into seeing what that means, what that's all about, knowing that we're going to be opening a place that has this flavor of 1905. So it gives us a set point, and you can get architectural pieces that kind of fit. You kind of create this atmosphere in a way. But then again, you got to make money. So you can't just, a lot of people want to set up something that they think would be fun, but fun doesn't exactly translate into customers and translate into money and money in the till and all that. So, and you also read the room. The economy is where it is right now. There's a lot of, if you watch any kind of sports, any kind of TV, you'll see the ads are for a lot of deals out there. We're going to be offering deals at the Empire. We do at all of our places. We'll be promoting that here in the future. Every at happy hour at Fong's, you get a slice of pizza with every cocktail. At some of our places, we have a happy hour. Some of them are a little bit better than others. And at the Empire, most drinks the majority, a lion's share of our drinks will be $4 to $6 with an opportunity to Empire size it, which would
Empire. I like it.
So you'll be able to get quite a lot of cocktails or draft beer for not a lot of money, and right now that's where people are at. That's where the younger crowd's at. They talk about how hard it is for younger people to buy homes right now and other things. Well, Last thing we need to do is open something that, costs, dings their bank account by $100+ every time they stop in. We want this whole adage of, we want one customer 1,000 times, not 1,000 customers once. We're building kind of a neighborhood feel. This Empire was what they called the hotel row from the train station north about 2 blocks. At one time there were 29 hotels on the street, and so now moving forward 120 years later, we have eight just on the street or very near 4th Street. We have 8 some formerly hotels, now apartment buildings, condos and apartments in the neighborhood. And we want to be the place where people come at 7 a.m. to get their coffee, stop by for lunch, pick it up quick, or sit down and hang out, enjoy a happy hour after work, unwind, and come in for dinner or whatever. This is, we hope to be the place that it kind of was 120 years ago, with today's sensibilities. So we're excited about it. We are. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I like doing historical stuff. We work with West End Salvage. Don Short, he has all these cool pieces. They are heading out today to pick up 11 or 14 jewelry cases that are essentially look like back bars from the Old Threshers Museum in I never get this right, Mount Pleasant. And he's always constantly pulling in new and cool old things.
What's that? What do you mean by a back bar or bar back? What do you mean? What's that?
Well, it was jewelry cases. It's really crazy. So if you can imagine a bookcase that's 10 foot tall, but then they could the glass was on the front, but they could lift the glass, the window would kind of slide up so you could get to the jewelry. It's that, and they were basically at the Old Threshers. They had that for displays and things. They picked it up over time, and they're like kind of trying to, sometimes people accumulate too much. So Don's the perfect guy. He gets it and he sells it. It goes out in the world, and it ends up in places like the Empire.
Trav, West End Salvage is a place Anjanette would love.
Have you ever been there? Actually,
I've lost Travis now. Do you hear Travis still, Bruno? Because I don't hear him.
I hear him.
What is happening to me here?
I don't know. It's a ghost in the machine. But yeah, no, West End Salvage is great. Don's been a friend of mine for over 2 decades. He's been involved in almost every project since, at least the Iowa Tap Room. He was very involved in that. He's been he's a business partner of ours now, and he's been great. Like I said, Ryan Ellsworth, we do the architectural walking tours. Ryan's been really awesome. Again, reminder, Ross and everyone, September 10th, we're going to do that historical happy hour at the Royal Mile. This time, even if you went last time, I think you're going to get some really good new information on the Empire and 4th Street, and even a little. Last time I was in theory, now Old Tavern will be served that night. So John Martin and the Old Tavern from Confluence will be available. That stuff's doing well. I was at Confluence on Monday. His patio was packed, and it had a lot of people drinking Old Tavern. That beer has really taken off. It's
good.
Really great. And yeah, so lots of fun. We know we got the big game this weekend. That's gonna be a lot of fun. It happens. I don't know if they plan this, but it's nice because it's the international break for soccer. So I'll be able to watch some college football this weekend. Maybe catch the game. I've got soccer. My daughter has got soccer at the same time, the kickoff of the Iowa State. But of course, I'll be watching.
Why do high schools do that? Why do they schedule like games during the Cyhawk game? I mean,
It's
that's
club
like scheduling
soccer.
a wedding on a Saturday.
No, I know. Or doing something. They always do it they always do stuff on Mother's Day too. And my mom always like, why do they do that? I don't know. They just do. And it's club soccer, so it's not exactly that. But there was somebody setting up a party downtown, and we're like, hey, that's the Iowa State game. Like, oh my gosh, thank you for telling us. It's the one thing I always block out on our calendars because people want to go watch that game. Based on what I saw, I watched the first 2 Iowa State games. Iowa State looks real tough, and of course Iowa looks good too. Both playing at home this past weekend did really well. Iowa State had an opportunity. I think they played all three of their quarterbacks. I watched that one. I watched that one a lot more than I watched the Iowa game because I think that one was done first, so I had it recorded.
Now I'm just hitting buttons and throwing him off the stage, everything. I tried to unmute you and mute you back to Trav, see if I could get you back because I'm still not hearing you, unfortunately.
You're not?
There you are. Now I got you.
I had my mic muted because of the big air handler playing in the background.
Well, now I can hear you talking. Jeez.
I want to throw out one thing on soccer, and I know it's not what everyone wants to hear, but I do want to throw out. This is like even the name is a great part of the story. Did you hear about the Grimsby Town versus Manchester United match?
So Man U had to play against a Grimsby Town. Must be a low level.
It's like saying they had to play Huxley. I'm telling you right now. Or any other small town, not picking on Huxley. But Grimsby Town, they played in what's called the Carabao Cup, or formerly known as it's the English Cup. It's a soccer cup. It's coincides. There's two cup deals. One is the FA Cup. We've talked about plenty of times. Well, this is similar. This is all the British teams too, the English teams they play. But Grimsby Town is 3 divisions below Manchester United, which means that they are where Wrexham got promoted to the very first time. They're way down. They're 4 down. They're at the League 2. You got
Travis. I have a pretty
What?
good understanding of English Premier League. I just pulled up the standings for League 2.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. I do not know a single team. I've never heard of Salford City, Tranmere, Barnet, Barrow, Colchester. This team was playing against, like Bruno was saying, this would be like if the New York Yankees played a rookie league team.
I think it'd be like the Carroll Merchants. It's similar, but I think even lower than that. Not really. No, probably like Carroll Merchants playing the Yankees. And it's a once in a lifetime. It's a generation, maybe once in every couple generations they played. And if you want to watch, like I can't describe how crazy people get. It was a home match for Grimsby Town. Their stands are 70 plus years old. They're like kind of falling down. You go to these other ones, they look like any NFL stadium. They're amazing, over the top with the lights and the everything. Well, these are like been around forever. 3 divisions below, 100 teams separate them between on the standings, and they scored the first 2. Grimsby Town did at home. The place was insane. United came back to tie, but then they went to a penalty shootout, and it went 12-11. I've never seen it before. They went all the way around. Every person kicks, including the goalkeepers.
Yeah,
the goalie kicks. The goalie actually gets a chance.
Yeah, when they get down to the 11th guy, unless it's a unique goalie who used to be a striker or something, they are the last ones to kick. And then I'm like, okay, now what do they do? Do they play other? No, they start at number 1 again. And they get to number 1, and Grimsby scores, and the captain of Man U misses. They win. It's insane. It's just like it was crazy. I heard about it. I'm like, I gotta watch this. I watched the highlights. It was crazy.
I'm watching the highlights of it right now, Bruno. I went and found it just so I could see this. I didn't know anything about this. This is really cool.
I think it's super fun. I think it's just like, if I could equate it, it's like March Madness, or it's like the Iowa State game. It's so out there, so unique, and you could be down 3-0, and if you're this Grimsby Town and you score 1 point and you're at home, they will jump into the stands. You're like, what are you doing? You're like, you're losing 3-1, but that's how hard it is to score against the higher leagues with all their billionaires and millions of pounds. It's insane. It was cool.
That's a cool story, Bruno. I had missed that altogether. I'm going to watch the highlights of that. The passion in that stadium would be electric. That'd be really cool.
Sunderland's back in the EPL, and their fans are super hot, fun. You watch that documentary on Netflix. It's fun. I enjoy it, but let's move on to
Well,
things.
hold on. Tyler says they're going to be talking about this for 100 years. He's right. Like there's
Absolutely.
that story of the girl that struck out Babe Ruth. These are the types of things that in a town like that, it will for 100 years they will say,
there'll be tons of stuff on the pub walls in that area, and they'll like, do you know where you were at? Were you at the game? Like, oh my God, I can't believe you got to go to that game, kind of thing. It's insane. I think it's cool.
So what you want to do something else here, Bruno? Go ahead.
Well, what I also think is cool is signing up. Nothing's more cool than signing up for the newsletter. I haven't talked about that for a little bit.
Are you getting lectured by Steve?
Nothing says cool.
No,
like
I
newsletter.
did actually. She thought I deleted the email. I was like, no, I have it. I actually get it on both of my email addresses. I get our newsletter to keep up to date because we've experienced this before. I have no idea what we're doing out there, so it's good to have them inform me what we're doing. And speaking of, I also don't really read it until we come on air, so it shows sometimes.
We've noticed.
We've noticed, yeah.
But it's fullcourtpressdm.com. Sign up for the newsletter, and you don't have to endure me fumbling my way through, pun intended, through this. But Truman's is doing the Super Dog Pizza, a nod to the Ames late night hot spot. Handmade crust and topped with garlic butter, Nathan's all beef hot dogs, chunks of pecan bacon, Monterey Jack cheddar, pepper jack baked. It comes out with all sorts of pineapple sauce and homemade cilantro and all sorts of things. Potato chip crumbles. It goes on and on. They're also doing the mac and grilled cheese pizza, Marco's grilled cheese. I'm gonna let you guys sign up for the newsletter or check in to see. They're Marco's Grill. They're also having the pineapple fresco, 1800 coconut tequila and some fresca, excuse me. So lots of fun to drink there. And the Python, Monty Python at Fong's. It's a Monte Cristo sandwich as a pizza. So that like French toast and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So Canadian bacon, pulled pork, scrambled egg, and our house blend of cheese. It's, of course, a drizzle of raspberry sauce on top. It's a your killer rabbit of, oh, my God.
Oh, your killer rabbit. Yeah, from Monty Python.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And we suggest adding jalapeno. We also have spicy margaritas, the cherry lemonade, peach strawberry lemonade, all good things. The Distiller's Handshake Old Fashioned at the Royal Mile. We still have some of that Distiller's Handshake from the COVID era, which is amazing. We've held a bunch back. It was a collaboration of a bunch of distilleries to kind of keep the doors open and the money coming in during COVID. We still have some of that. So come on down to Royal Mile and get your Distiller's Old Fashioned. Jalapeno Jack burger, spicy burger. I had a burger at the last month's burger at Lucky Horse recently. Really great. Salsa verde salad. Spaghetti and meatballs. That one's spaghetti and meatballs. Maria, that runs the kitchen there, used to work at the High Life, so I'm telling you that's probably going to be amazing. Spaghetti and meatballs served with Texas toast.
Where's that at?
That is Lucky Horse.
Okay.
What else? What's new?
I just came up with Here would be a fun game. I just came up with it. This segment gets a lot more enjoyable with this. Here's what we should do. Everybody should sign up for.
Say. Oh, I thought you were going to say, ask Bruno if it's a special or not.
No.
And if I win, you don't get. And if you win, then you get a deal.
That's right. I love it. If I'm right, you have to order it. If I'm wrong, you get a deal on it. What I was going to say is we get everybody to sign up for the newsletter, and then we all read along with Bruno as he goes. I think that'd be a fun game to play every Thursday.
Let's go through it. Yeah, some things that I know we're running out of time. Some fun things to make sure you sign up for. Now we mentioned it's no signing up. You just show up for the historical happy hour next Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Royal Mile. We'll be going over to the Empire, hopefully John Martin from Old Tavern or from Confluence will be there to talk about Old Tavern beer. But we also have the Oscar Wilde Night is open to get tickets. That is Wednesday, October 15th from 6 to 8. It's a celebration of the author and a meal with cocktails, pairings, and lots of fun stories told. It's based off the success that we have at Robbie Burns in January. Then also don't forget it is Oktoberfest season. The end of the month is going to be start of October into October. Start of Oktoberfest and into October. We'll have daily Oktoberfest specials at the Hessen House for every day of the festival. Monday through Sundays. It's going to be great. Check those out. And also don't forget, you can get Oktoberfest at El Bait Shop, Iowa Tap Room, and the Library Cafe. And soccer watch parties at geez, it goes on and on.
Yeah, you don't have to read it all, dude. You don't have to read it all. It's all right. It's all right.
Well, no, I was just trying to catch like some of the highlights. I thought I had it, but man, there's an Oktoberfest kickoff is Sunday, September 21st at the Hessen.
There you go. We'll have a couple weeks to get to that stuff. So you're good.
You know what? I do this, and then I realize, like, man, if they just signed up for the newsletter, I wouldn't have to do this.
Full court,
right? And we don't need to do this. Yeah, you don't need to read the whole thing.
Well, Steve went through this whole thing, and it's a what I would call a six scroller. You got to go like this six times to get to the bottom. And Steve puts this out. She didn't send me talking points this week, so I am droning on a little bit about this.
It's all right. And listen, dude, the stuff that later in September we'll have weeks to tell people about that stuff. So you're good.
Yeah, so we're in there. Stand by. We'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
We're hopeful in a couple of weeks to open the Empire. Staying by. We'll have more information as it comes to light. And the Iowa State game, you can come watch it at any of our places if you're not able to make it all the way up to Ames this weekend. It's going to be a great game. I'm imagining. I was up there a couple years ago. That was a great game. It's
should be fun. It'll be on paper. Be close.
Depends who you're a fan of, but up in Ames, I think it's going to. My prediction, I think the Clones might eke one out here.
That's a
fair.
Safe prediction.
Vegas thinks it's 3 points. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, and it's always a good time. You know what we used to do, and the last thing, I used to tailgate at Iowa State games all the time, but then I'd go up to Welch Avenue to drink and watch the game on TV. We didn't go into the stadium. But the tailgate up there is always so much fun. Good times.
All right, Bruno, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Remind me next week. I got a beer question for you. I got a beer question because it is like Beer Thursday, but I do have a beer question for you. So remind me next Thursday to ask you that question. We'll see you next week, bud.
All right, see you. Thanks.
See you, Bruno.
All right, that wraps up.
That's it.
What's that?
I like his idea of going to when he said if you want a place to watch the game, dude, even like the library, the Lucky Horse, those are great spots that I wouldn't have thought of as like game watch day things, but that's why they'd be wonderful spots.
Craig Floss from Iowa Corn going to join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Tyler Kluber at 7:30. And don't forget our Iowa Lottery weekly woohoo. It's all coming up on a busy, busy Friday on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA loans, along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. It's August, and while most of Iowa has shifted their attention to corn dogs and butter cows, us here at Mini of Des Moines are still focused on making sure your Mini is running properly and well maintained. Please give us a call or schedule your appointment online at miniofdesmoines.com.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.